Calling the September 30th Public Works Committee meeting at 6 o'clock to order. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crampits,
Here.
Labrie,
Here. Here.
Brooks,
Here.
Brooks. Yeah, I got
Here.
Both here.
Hushain, Benega Costello.
Here.
Okay, and Councilors Labrie and Councilor Brooks are on Zoom. In compliance with the Massachusetts Open Meeting Law, is anyone audio or videotaping this meeting or any part of this meeting? Please raise your hand. And there's no one here in the audience. Yeah, if so, please identify yourself with name and address, whether you're audio or videotaping the meeting or any part of it. No one's here in the audience. Is anyone on Zoom? This? Okay. All right. Well, also with us tonight are our attorney, Tim Riley, our administrative assistant, Carla, and also Ben Strupka from Superintendents of Parks, and then also John Bollier, assistant to the DPW superintendent. Oh, that's a mouthful. But, so, all right. So we're gonna start with item 1, submitted by Councilor Piniac Costello. Be it ordained that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss a tree on public property growing into a fence on private property at 245 Montcalm Street. Also for discussion, any tree stumps not addressed on public property. So I will turn it over to Councilor Piniac Costello.
The person that has requested this to be looked at is not interested in pursuing any type of recommendation or any type of discussion. So I would ask that this item be at this point dismissed from public hearing.
Well, we still need to do the public part.
Yep.
And also to hear from the department heads who are here on this. And
Okay.
then after that's completed and we've done public input, then, you know, whatever motion you want to make on this.
Right.
So I will turn it over to, well, anybody on the committee have any questions first? Okay, I'll turn it over to either Ben or John, and if they want to comment on. Oh, and also joining us via Zoom is Liz Batista. There she is. So, what else? So I will turn it over to whoever wants to speak first from DPW or Parks on this item, if they have any comments they want to make. Sure. Or that microphone, whatever you want to do.
All right. So this was something I was working on prior to going off on leave. Been working with the law department and the planning department on this for a month or two now. We had a recent survey done of Fairview Park for a different project we're pursuing up there. And with that, we encountered an encroachment along this fence line. The fence is not in the correct place. It actually needs to be set back a few feet. So this tree is actually within the park boundary. And working with law, we put together notices for the encroachments, and those will be going out shortly.
Else want to go? Liz, did you want to comment on this or?
And just to add, as far as the forestry department did look at this tree, and the tree is very healthy. Doesn't require any, there's no reason to take it down or make there isn't any maintenance required on this tree. So I just wanted to add that. Ben already talked about the encroachment. It's very clear. It's also clear on the GIS that there's a significant encroachment, and having the survey done just identifies exactly how much of an encroachment there is. So that's all.
Okay, all righty, thank you. Anyone here for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this matter? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this matter? Can I have a motion to close public input, please? Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie, Brooks,
Yes.
Yes, for me.
Hushain, Piniac Costello.
Yes.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from the committee on this? Going once, going twice. Anyone on Zoom who has any any counselors on Zoom who have any questions on this? Okay, can I have a motion, please? Counselor Costello?
Again, I appreciate what, the park superintendent has presented to us for public, hearing, and, the, resident does not want to pursue this matter any further. I appreciate, again, DPW superintendent and the park superintendent for their input.
Okay, would you like to just place it on file, or is there something in particular you'd like to do?
I think, we can place it on file. Motion
Okay.
to place on file.
All right, motion seconded to place on file.
Councilors Crumpets,
Please, I'm sorry, please call the roll to place on file.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hushain,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
Good thing you had the cap on. Okay. Hopefully you have your own pen, Mary Beth. I'll leave you with that. All right. Okay, we have, 5 in favor, none against. Councilors Labrie and Brooks, voted in favor on Zoom. And this will go Carla, did you put these in for tomorrow's meeting, or are they going on the meeting in, mid-October?
I did not put them on for tomorrow.
Okay, then they'll be at our second meeting, in October. All righty. That concludes item number 1. Item number 2, be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss the status of the end of Stryber Drive near 151 Stryber Drive, a request to engineering to evaluate the safety of the dead-end street, and the need for a sign to alert vehicles of the dead-end street. This was also filed by Councilor Piniac Costello, so I'll let her comment on that first.
Yes, there were several residents on Stryber Drive that have suggested that some signage be placed at the end of Stryber Drive to notify people that they can't go through there.
Okay, all right. Our city engineer, Doug Ellis, was not able to attend tonight, but he did send a memo that had some notes about this item. Stryber Drive is not truly a dead end, as Old Farm Road is a looped road that intersects Stryber Drive twice and can be used by vehicles to reverse their direction. If signage is all that is being requested, I would suggest a no outlet sign over a dead end sign. I also want to note that Stryber Drive and Telegraph Avenue are part of a safe routes to school project, SRTS, project being done by the Mass DOT to improve safety and sidewalk access to Stryber School. Those were his comments. Is there, Liz, did you want to comment on that or on or?
No, just that, what is, I guess because that road does loop around, I guess my question is, what is the major issue there? Is it that that traffic is going beyond the school to turn around? Is it that
I'll
people,
let you
is it,
respond, Counselor
Yeah, I know.
Piniac Costello.
The major issue is that if you go straight down Stryber, at one time it connected to Telegraph on the other side. Since that time, there's like overgrowth. So it loops around, but that's if you take a left going down. So if you're going straight, there's nothing there. Just stops. Road literally stops. So some of the residents indicated if they could give some sort of warning signal so that they don't keep going straight, and they may not realize when they're traveling at night that they can loop around and take a left onto our Old Farm Road. So that basically was the issue. That's why they brought it up, that
so,
something, sorry, go ahead.
no, so signage would typically be put at the beginning of the road saying that there's no outlet or this is a dead end. But I had a feeling that this had to do with the end of Stryber where it goes from a road, it ends essentially, and then it turns into like a walking path over to Telegraph. I don't know if signage is adequate. Well, or a dead end sign, putting a dead end sign there is adequate because that's already, you're already there. I don't know if maybe putting an arrow, directing people to go left versus continuing forward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of evaluate this a little bit more and see what would probably be the best form of signage. Some form of signage should be put there, but maybe evaluate what would be the best sign. I think Counselor Kurshane is.
So that's
Counselor
actually,
Shane?
Stryber is partly mine, and we share Stryber, but I have Old Farm Road, which is the loop around street. At the end of Stryber is big cement blocks that block the road, so it's pretty obvious it's there.
Yeah.
Thought there was actually yellow pylons too,
Maybe,
so, because
maybe
that hasn't been a road in a long time.
maybe some kind of a reflective sign with an arrow or something that when somebody is
'Cause I've had no
coming down the
complaints in 10 years from anybody up there.
Yeah, because putting a dead end is not gonna, I feel like, because the road is not a dead end, right? Because it's meant to continue to Old Farm. So I guess I request, can I, if we will put up a sign. I don't think a dead end sign, street sign is appropriate for this. Is that, I don't know how you guys wanna.
Well, what I was gonna interject or suggest is that once you find out what would be the best signage, if you can contact Counselor Piniac Costello and let her know, and then she could file an order for the appropriate signs that would be needed.
Yeah, because I don't,
If
that
you
wouldn't
think that's
be,
It's not an order- it's not
it
an
doesn't
ordinance, so
require
we-
an
Well,
ordinance.
not an ordinance, but
Yeah,
Do it
a
anyway.
sign request, whatever.
Even you.
yeah, okay,
Or or the two of you could talk and you could go ahead and do it. Doesn't have to necessarily
Right,
be an order
okay.
that she'd file for a sign,
that's fine. We can do it like that too, if she's okay with that.
but, okay. All right. Anyone else have any questions? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Any counselors on Zoom on the committee have any questions they want to ask? All right, can I have a motion to close public input? Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
Okay, any other questions or whatever? I place on file, or, I mean, there's no action to be taken at this point, so what would you like to do?
A motion to place on file. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, motion seconded to place on file. Please call the roll to place on file.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Okay, this is voted in favor to place on file 5-0 with Councilors Gary Labrie and Shane Brooks voting in favor via Zoom. And this will go to our second city council meeting in October. All right, moving on. Okay, item number 3. Be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss the status of Anson Street. This order was filed by Councilor Piniac Costello, so I'll let her comment on it.
Yes, I want to thank City Engineer Ellis for his hard work in regards to Anson Street and to start the process and continue the process to be accepted as a city street. So that's basically the issue. This is only for an update. I appreciate the fact that he gave a detailed summary of where they stand. Many residents on Anson Street are very concerned about the fact that this process has to take place. So I appreciate DPW superintendent and the city engineer for updating the residents through public documentation on the status of Anson Street. Thank you.
And I will read the comments from Doug Ellis, city engineer. Going back in time. Anson Street has only been partially accepted as a city street. The east end of the street has never been accepted. I have obtained a proposal from a surveyor to prepare a street acceptance plan for the street. There are several other streets that we have obtained proposals for street acceptance plans from the same surveyor. Telegraph Avenue, to see item number 2, being one of them. We will be moving forward with authorizing the surveyor to proceed with preparing these plans. This is the first step in having Anson Street fully accepted by the city. We would ultimately work with Mass DOT to have Anson Street and others included in the state's list of city accepted streets. Once the street is on the state list, Chapter 90 funding could be used for the street improvements. Chapter 90 funds, which is how we fund many of our street improvements, can only be used on streets that are accepted city streets that are on the state's list. That's Doug Ellis's comments. Are there any other comments from Liz or John? Nope, no comments. Any comments from the committee? Council Crochet?
Could you send us a list of the streets you're working on? Because I'm sure we're all eager to know if we got any of our own on there too.
I don't have the list with me.
No, but at some
There's,
point,
like,
just email
probably-
it out to everybody.
Yeah, so we're at the point now where the streets that we're doing are more specific to like a project, like Telegraph has to be accepted because it's part of that Safe Routes to Schools. Right now, we're not getting, because it's Chapter 90 is calculated by lane miles. So the cost that what it costs us to get through the street acceptance process, it's not as, you're not getting as much bang for your buck at this point because they're all like smaller streets. So we're working through, and when we get like a good amount, like due to like a specific purpose, like Anson is being added because one, there's a request, but two, there's other streets like Telegraph, I think, I want to say part of Griffith, because we have to do it because of the end of the street, like with the whole solar field. There's something going through planning. I'm sorry. I don't want to like I don't want to give misinformation, but I believe like there's a section of that, like the rest of that road needs to be accepted.
Yeah, we've talked about that one already too.
Yeah, so there's a
No, I agree,
few of
because
them,
sometimes accepting roads they cost more than what we get for them.
right? So Doug put together a list, and we have we usually use Ed Chapdelaine, the surveyor. He does a great job for us, and I believe he's given us a cost for that effort. So, but I can have Doug send out an email with what we're actually going after as far as like getting more roads accepted.
Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone on the committee? Anyone on the committee on Zoom have any questions on this one? Questions on Zoom? Okay. Did you do public input already? No,
No.
okay. Just wanted to check. Anyone here for public input? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close public input? Motion seconded, to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hushain,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes,
And public input is closed. And there's no more questions from the, anyone else have any questions before Councilor Piniac Costello makes a motion? What would you like to do?
I'd like to make a motion to place on file.
Okay. Thank you. Motion seconded to place on file. Oops. Motion to place on file, seconded. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hushain,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. We'll keep going. I was reading Doug's list and that's what threw me off. So never mind. Take it out of order. I will, but there's another one after this, so I didn't, DPW. Okay, 5 in favor, none against, and, Councilors Labrie and, Brooks, voted in favor via Zoom, and this will go before the full city council at our second, meeting in October. Item number 4. Be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss expanding sites. Oops,
5 out of order.
okay, I'm sorry.
Motion to take number 5 out of order.
Okay. Motion to take number 5 out of order. Please call the roll to take number 5 out of order,
Hold
please.
on. I already had it all set up.
Okay.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes,
Thank you, and I will read, item number 5. Be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss the status of 25 mile per hour on New Ludlow Road. This, order was filed by Councilor Piniac Costello, so I'll let her comment on it.
yes, there were several residents, actually many residents in a certain section of New Ludlow Road that have requested that the speed limit be reduced from 35 miles an hour to 25 miles an hour.
I will read the comments by, our city engineer, Doug Ellis. The speed limit on New Ludlow Road is governed by special speed regulation, SSR, number 1045-A, an agreement between the city and Mass DOT. The speed limits on New Ludlow Road are 25 miles per hour and 35 miles per hour per this SSR agreement. At the request of the city council, we have requested that the 35 mile per hour portion of this, SSR agreement be, rescinded. The Mass DOT is currently reviewing this request. That was from, Doug Ellis. I don't know if, John or Liz have any additional comments on this? Kind of sounds like it's still in process. All right. Are there any questions from the committee members? Okay, all right. Is there anyone here for public input on, this item for New Ludlow Road, the speed limit? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Can I have a motion to close public input? Motion second, close public input. Please call the roll, close public input.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Are there, any additional questions from committee members? No. Any, additional questions from committee members on Zoom? Okay, seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to place on file.
Motion seconded to place on file. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
Okay, and the motion to place on file has been approved 5-0. This will go before the full city council at its second meeting in October. Alrighty, and then real item number 5, or item number 4 rather, wait. Yep, back to item number 4. Be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss expanding sites for disposing of used needles. See anyone in the audience from the Health Department? Is there anyone on Zoom from the Health Department? Anyone on Zoom from the Health Department? I know Lisa Sanders was out of the country last week, and I'm thinking maybe the hurricane may have disrupted her travel plans to come back, because I did speak to her prior to last week, and she was planning on coming to this meeting, and I have not heard anything from her or received any emails, so I'm hoping she's okay. But I guess we still have some time in case she thinks the meeting might be at 6:30 or something like that. So can I have a motion to I guess postpone to the, do we do a motion to postpone the call to the chair and just retrieve it at this meeting if she comes in?
No. No.
Okay.
Motion,
Till 7.
motion to postpone to the call of the chair. Right.
All right, okay, well, since this was the only item on our agenda, can we take like a 15, I mean, we're not doing anything till 7, can we take a 15? Oh, okay, all right. Okay,
Up till 7.
recess.
That's what I was trying to, I couldn't find the word recess.
All right, well, we'll,
I just have a question.
sure.
How likely is it that she's gonna be here in 15 minutes?
I'll text her, I'll let you know.
I don't know. I mean, I would hate that she's gonna be, that we postpone it to the next meeting and then she comes through the door. So I have not heard from her, so I tend to think it's unlikely, but I guess we can, skip this and go to the, do we need to do anything to get off of this and do the meeting minutes? Okay.
Unless she was locked out, because it.
Yep. So, well, I guess,
Motion to take number 6 out of order?
well, I think if I think John was talking to, I'm not sure. Well, can I have a motion to go to the, to approve the minutes?
Take number 6 out of order.
Okay, all right. All right, well, can I have,
I did, I motioned twice now.
okay, sorry.
I didn't hear any motion.
Motion to take number 6 out of order.
Seconded to take number 6 out of order, which is the meeting minutes. Please call the roll.
5 minutes away, Fred.
Okay,
Councilors Crumpets,
yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hushain,
Yes.
Linnea Costello.
Yes.
Okay, and we will, and I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes for June 24th.
Motion to approve the meeting minutes of June 24th.
Motion seconded to approve the meeting minutes from June 24th. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Hushain,
Yes.
Linnea Costello.
Yes.
And the meeting minutes are approved, and Councilors Brooks and Labrie are on Zoom. And can I have a, this is about 5 minutes away, so like maybe
10?
recess? 10 minutes?
You want to do 5 minutes and 6 minutes?
Yeah, I say 15, we still got 10 minutes left.
All right. Well, we'll do 10, and, can I have a motion for a 10-minute recess, please?
Motion for a 10-minute recess.
Motion seconded for 10-minute recess. Please call the roll for a recess.
Councilors Crumpets,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
and Costello.
Yes.
And we are recessed. Sure,
Seconds.
with seconds to go.
Yep. 9.
Re-adjourning the, Public Works Committee, meeting back to order. Do we need to recall the roll, Tim?
Motion to readjourn.
No, motion to resume, or do we need a motion for that, or we just jump into it since the 10 minutes is over? Okay, all right, we are back live from the chambers. This is item number 4 on our agenda. Be it ordered that the Public Works Committee meet to discuss expanding sites for disposing of used needles. This order was filed by Councilor Piniac Costello. You'd like to speak on it briefly?
Yep, thank you. I've spoken with Mrs. Sanders, in regards to this, request. This has been discussed before. Several residents have indicated that they would like more sites to dispose of needles. I think right now it's the Council on Aging, DPW, are the sites. And, for some people that are elderly, they find it difficult to go down to the Council on Aging to dispose of needles or to go to DPW. So they're looking to, if it's possible, to have other sites more local to be more convenient for people that are senior citizens that have difficulty driving. Thank you.
And joining us is our Health Director, Lisa Sanders, so I will let Lisa respond. Can you move from microphone? I'm sorry. You can stand up, or you can sit at the one over there, whatever is easiest. Yep.
Do you have a site in mind?
No, this was just a suggestion by an elderly person and several elderly people that live in the neighborhood, that some of them have macular degeneration, glaucoma, they have a hard time driving, and they would like something closer if it's all possible. But I don't have a site in mind, no.
Okay, so what is possible?
Okay,
Do that or Tapestry Health,
okay,
so that's something that's, right, we have to also cost to have the kiosk, cost for pickup, so that, and it has to be monitored. We can't just have it anywhere.
mhm.
So people happy to pick up from their home.
Yeah, there, I did, and you did go, actually, which I
Right.
appreciate, but, some of them are a little, uncomfortable sometimes when they have people coming to their home unless it's a home care worker or a visiting nurse. So,
This will be someone, and if someone from the city,
Mhm.
from the health department, they can put it on their porch and we will gladly pick it up.
okay, all right. I do know that at Bay State Medical Center in their lobby, they have needles disposal that they could go to. So if they live in the center,
Mhm.
they can drive there, which would be more convenient for them. So, well, thank you. Thank you
You're
for your
welcome. I mean,
recommendation.
so I haven't had any calls, but if
Mhm.
someone calls me, we will make arrangements. We
Yeah.
will work with people, so that shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, I know that for this particular individual, you did go out and you picked it
Mhm.
up. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any questions from the committee? Councilor Corshain?
The needle exchange program, that's mobile, isn't it?
It is mobile. Tapestry Health is mobile. They were the ones that offered to go pick it up.
Right,
Mm.
because I know we started that like,
Yeah.
well, filed the order 8 years ago.
Mhm.
So, it's
Yeah.
been going.
Any other questions from the committee? Anyone, on the committee on Zoom have any questions on this? Any, committee members on Zoom have, any questions on this? Okay. Anyone here for public input on, the collection of, used needles? Anyone here for public input on this item for the collection of, used needles? Okay. Anyone on Zoom, for this item on the collection of used, needles? Anyone on Zoom for expanding the collection site, for used needles? Seeing none, that, no one's here for public input, please call a roll and close public input.
Motion
I'm
to
sorry.
close public input.
Motion seconded to close public input. Please call the roll.
Councilors Crampas,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Before we wrap this up, any, other questions from anyone on the committee? Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to place on file.
Motion seconded to place on file. Please call the roll to place on file.
Councilors Crampas,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
Yes.
All righty, we have 5 in favor and none against, for placing on file, and this will go before the full city council at its second, meeting in October. And that is it. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Turn.
Motion second to adjourn, please call the roll for adjournment.
Councilors Crampas,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Kushein,
Yes.
Piniac Costello.
And we are adjourned. Thank you all. And I think, Councilor Shane and Labrie are on, ordinance, I think.
Yes.
So we shall see them shortly. You want the,
Oh, they're part of the Mass, Maryland Transit Division of Mass.
okay, all right. Where did my pens go? All right, I found it. If there's one on that desk, just leave it there, because she was writing with that and she has a stomach bug, so I'm not gonna write with it. Okay, all right, was it 7 o'clock yet?
It is
7
7 o'clock.
All right.
On the dot.
Okay. Motion to call the ordinance committee meeting to order for Monday, September 30th. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Here.
Brooks,
Here.
Ariaga. Here. Labrie,
Here.
Roy.
And Councilor Roy, contacted me, and also Councilor Brooks contacted me to let me know that Councilor Roy will not be able to attend, tonight, so I did hear from them. Please mute all of your, cell phones. So we have, our, DPW Superintendent, Liz Baptista. We have our Assistant to the DPW Superintendent, John Boyer. Our City Solicitor, Tim Riley, our Administrative Assistant, Agnes, also Quinn Lonzak from wastewater or stormwater, here along with, our Health Director, Lisa Sanders. I think I have everybody here, and Chris from IT. I just wanted to take a quick moment in case anyone is either here in the audience or listening online. There was an item that for truck commercial weight parking on private property. That item is not on tonight's agenda. There will be no action taken on it tonight. There will be no discussion on it tonight. The ordinance will remain as is for now. So I just wanted to let people know who are listening online or here in the audience that that item is not on our agenda and will not be discussed, and no action will be taken on tonight. So thank you for your patience on this, and we will start, I think.
Make a motion to take item number 15
Okay.
out of order.
All right, can I have a motion second to take item 15 out of order? Please call the roll for taking item 15 out of order.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
All right, let me get to item 15. Okay. Be it ordained by the city of Chicopee, wait, let me scratch that, read it again. Be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows: that chapter as amended on February 21st, 1995 be further amended by striking from the following in schedule. Bus stops. The bus stop at Chicopee and Baptist Streets, bus stop number 6444. And that order was filed by Councilor Corshane. Is he in the audience? Okay. I will open it up to public input. Public input is 3 minutes or less. So please state your name and address if you're here for public input.
Kevin Polverini. Address is 83 Providence Street, but the address of council is for the 998 Chicopee Street. Input is bus stop is in front of my property, rental property, that's needing my tenants to have access to parking in front of the dwelling. We've had tickets from the police department because the bus company called saying they were parking too close. I contacted the PTA and they said it's 60 foot from the beginning of the sign to post the sign for footage for non-parking. That's the whole front of the house. So I go, where are my tenants supposed to park? So, long story short, patrons also vandalized the property with trash. They vandalized their cars by sitting on their cars, throwing ice cream from the local ice cream place near there. They harass my tenants. In the wintertime, they park. They stand in the driveway that I clear for the tenants and make it impossible for my tenants to drive back out of the property. And just would like it relocated to commercial property. It's 100 feet north or 100 feet south on that same side. So no issue on parking, safety for the tenants or safety for my tenants and safety for the patrons for the PBTA riders.
Okay. All righty, thank you. Anyone else for public input? Anyone else for public input on this matter? Okay, all right. Anyone on Zoom for public input on this matter? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this matter? Okay, can I have a motion to close public input then, please?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. I will read the report number 15. These are notes from DPW's, City Engineer Doug Ellis, for item 15 about the deletion of the bus stop at, Chicopee and Baptist Streets. PVTA must be contacted to move or remove a bus stop. I know there was, Counselor Corshane had reached out to me, about this, that there was, some concern about, that it sounded from these notes that the bus stop required the PVTA's approval to remove, when in essence, it's the city, that can remove it. So, I guess what we can do is, we can go ahead with however this committee feels like going forward with it.
I have another email that I'd like to
Oh,
read.
okay, all right.
So this is also from Doug Ellis. I am not aware of anything that would prevent you from eliminating that bus stop. When I've tried to contact PVTA as a courtesy, when we've moved bus stops before, no one has ever responded. The next bus stop is southbound on Chicopee Street, is a little less than 600 feet away. Seeing how there doesn't seem to be a better location, the street to locate the bus, eliminating it seems like a good idea to me.
Okay, all righty, thank you. DPW Superintendent, Ms. Batista or John Boyer, do you have any comments you want to make on this at this time?
I don't know, John. You know, they put them up.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Any thoughts from the committee members?
So is this something that we can vote to say, yes, we want to take it down, but we just have to continue to try and contact PVTA?
I think we could. I guess we would probably need clarification on it, but well, before tomorrow's meeting, and then if it was like we can't do it, then I guess we could return it back to committee. I guess that's a possibility.
Is there an answer to that?
Sure.
Well, it goes to ordinance for the sign to be installed. They vote on acceptance of the sign. Why, if you're gonna delete or move it, PVTA would be notified, then go move it or move it.
Yeah, so we can vote to delete it, and then when we get a hold of PVTA, tell them we want it gone.
All right. Sounds good to me. Any other questions from the, members of the committee? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Or comments? Can I have a motion then, please?
To approve item number 15.
Motion second to approve item number 15. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
I don't have to alternate around the table tonight.
I know, that'd be fun.
And Counselors, Labrie and Brooks, approve this, and we're on Zoom. Item number 15. And we are going back to regular order of business, so we're gonna do item number 1. Okay, all right, okay, all right. Oops. All righty, item number 1, be it ordained by the city council that the code of the city of Chicopee for the year 1991 as amended be and hereby further amended as follows, chapter 280, which we'll call affectionately the plastic bag ban ordinance for simplicity. So, I believe, Councilors Laflamme and Chomsky had filed this, and I think we had heard it, but at the time, there was some additional information needed by the Director of Health, that she was looking for like different lists of businesses so that she could see, about enforcement. So I will, since we've kind of already discussed it, I will turn it over to Lisa Sanders for any additional input.
I actually just have a question. So the ordinance reads retail establishment. So I want to be clear. So we're not talking about like the soup kitchens or the food bank, correct? Or not for profit? So it's just retail?
I believe if
Just
that's what it says in the ordinance,
Well,
then.
then I'm fine with this.
Okay,
That's written.
all right, okay. All right,
Oh, one other thing, sorry. The
That's okay.
effective date is listed as June 1st, 2025. Are we keeping that date?
I believe so. I
Okay.
think we were gonna like try to get the word out
Okay.
and then implement it, let people use up their
Supply.
existing inventory of plastic bags, like that.
Fair enough. So it looks good.
All righty, thank you. Any questions from the committee? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion seconded to close public input. Please call the roll and close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie,
Yes.
And public input is closed.
Motion to approve item number 1.
I have another question. I'm sorry. So what happens
Sure.
after this?
It's gonna go to the committee of the whole.
And then they will vote on this?
Oh,
Is
okay.
this the only time for public input? Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, also at the full city council meeting tomorrow, people could also come
Right.
and speak
They
on
need
it.
to come back tomorrow.
Well, no, if a member of the public wanted to speak on it, but
All right.
as it is, there's placeholders for these items in ordinance on the tomorrow night's agenda for the city council.
Okay. I just want to make sure everyone has a chance to speak on this.
Okay, all right. Any other questions from anyone on the committee? Any other questions from anyone, any committee members on Zoom? I'm just gonna add my comments on this. I have mixed feelings on this because I am a person who reuses plastic bags. So when I get them from the store, I use them for my trash. But it's sad to say that a lot of people don't do the same thing that I do, and they just discard them as they're walking to their car. So while I feel conflicted about this ordinance, and since I use the bags, I will be voting in favor of it tonight. So, that's all I have to say on this matter. So, anyways, can I have a motion? I think
Motion to approve.
Motion seconded to approve. Please call the roll for approval.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, this, proposed ordinance was approved 4-0 and will be on the city council meeting agenda for tomorrow night. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, be it ordained by the city council that the code of the city of Chicopee for the year 1991 as amended be and hereby further amended as follows. Add chapter 278 offenses against public peace. This order was filed by, Counselor Horshane. So we will open it up to public input. Public input is 3 minutes or less. Please state your name and address. Want to hear for public input on this item? The audience for public input on this item. Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Can I have a motion to close public input, please?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. To our attorney, I know, Counselor Corshane had submitted some additional information, to you on this ordinance. Do you feel comfortable with approving with those changes tonight, or would you prefer to postpone it to another meeting or to our next meeting to review it and get back to us?
I would need some time to review it.
Questions from the committee members? Any questions from the committee members on Zoom? I have a motion to postpone to the call of the chair.
Motion to postpone to the call of the chair.
Motion second to postpone to the call of the chair. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the, proposed ordinance was approved 4-0 with, Councilors Brooks and Labrie, voting in favor of via Zoom. And, this will be postponed to the call of the chair pending review of our solicitor. Okay, all right. Item number 3, be it ordained that the city council hereby amend code section 231 of the city code of ordinances entitled Stormwater Management by deleting section 231 in its entirety and inserting the attached new section 231. See draft of, ordinance. This, came in via a mayor's order, and I will let, Quinn Lonzak from, Stormwater, speak on it.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Fred. Counselor Crampit, excuse me.
That's fine.
Fred. So the city is governed under a federally issued permit for stormwater. It's called the MS4. It's a general permit, which means most communities fall under the same guidelines. Really what we changed is to bring our stormwater ordinance up to date with the most recently issued MS4 permit, which was 2016, but it was actually amended further, I think in 2018, 2020, with some different things. So really just bring it up to date so that we're in proper compliance with current stormwater standards, as given to us by the EPA and also the Commonwealth, through DEP. So most of the changes are in what's called post-construction stormwater standards, which is if you have, say, a commercial development and they are, gonna have a certain amount of impervious surface, we need them to meet the standards set forth by the permit. So post-construction, obviously. So that's where most of the changes are. And really it's just bringing us, again, it's bringing the language up to date so that when developers or, folks who are going to be disturbing large amounts of land area are coming in, we can point to the mass stormwater standards and basically the correct standards are now referenced in the ordinance rather than some of the older standards. So, yeah, really that's long and short of it. There's nothing too crazy. So how we approached this was the city was already receiving technical assistance along with 2 other communities from EPA at the time that we were planning to do this. So we had a stormwater consultant look through our ordinance, made edits. We reviewed them, and the city solicitor, Kevin Corden, reviewed them. We incorporated all of those changes, and that's what's in front of everyone now. And it didn't cost us anything, which is great too. That's about it, I think. Yeah, so nothing, really Councilor Crampit's asked me if there's any impact to residents or anything, costs, things like that. Really not much is different. Dictates what sites have to do with their stormwater, to comply with federal permit.
Is there anyone here for public input on this item? This ordinance revision? Anyone here for public input on this ordinance revision? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this ordinance revision? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this ordinance revision rather? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close public input? Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Are there any questions from any of the committee members?
Something that we have to do pretty much no matter what, correct?
Yes, yes. Yeah, we can, face the music, so to speak. If so, it's,
Oh, John or Liz, is there anything you wanted to add? If not,
nope. Just it's in an order. But yeah. So I should have added. Every community had to do this. Every community, at least in Mass and New Hampshire, that's covered. That's governed by this MS4 permit. Sorry, that's pretty important.
any other committee members on Zoom have any additional questions? Any of the committee members on Zoom have any additional questions? Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve item number 3.
Okay, motion second to approve item number 3. Please call the roll for approval.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and this has been approved 4-0, and this will go with Councilors Brooks and Labrie on Zoom approving. And this will go before the full city council at our Tuesday or tomorrow's full city council meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Quinn.
all. Appreciate it. Appreciate the time.
Oh, you're welcome. It looked like it was a lot of work and all the stuff that was crossed out, so.
We'll be back, and I said to Ed, we'll looking at revamping the stormwater ordinance more in depth, but that'll be down the line. That'll be down the line with Lee Pouliot.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Quinn.
Good night.
Okay, item number 4, be it ordained by the city council that the code of the city of Chicopee for the year 1991 as amended and be hereby further amended as follows: delete chapter 275-66A in its entirety and insert their place of Burnett Road. No further business, commercial. Okay, yep, this is the right one. No further business, commercial, or industrial development shall occur on Burnett Road from the Ludlow/Chicopee line to the intersection of New Ludlow Road and Burnett Road and any appurtenant? Okay, saw that one before. For a period of 1 year commencing on April 1st, 2024 and terminating on April 1st, 2025, except by special permit. This order was filed by Councilor Shumsky, and I know it was approved when it came through zoning. So I will open it up to anyone here for public input on this item. Here in the audience for public input on this item. Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Can I have a motion to close public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any additional comments from, DPW? Any questions from any, committee members? Any questions from any committee members on Zoom? Okay, I know, like I had mentioned, this had been approved, for us when it came through, zoning. Counselor Shumsky is working with engineering and planning to come up with a plan to try to, move forward so that, this does not need to be, before us every year. What he said at, last meeting, he's working, so we're hoping, within a year, he'll have made some progress. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve. Number 4. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, 4 in favor for approval. Counselors Brooks and Labrie voted in favor via Zoom, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. All righty, item number 5. Be it ordained that the city of Chicopee hereby accepts and adopts the attached city hall parking plan entitled City Hall Parking Area, Chicopee Center Neighborhood, dated March of 2024, as required by the ordinances of the city of Chicopee, chapter 26032.2, subsection B, municipal parking areas. Council further deletes the current parking plan entitled City Hall Parking Area, Center Neighborhood, dated January of 2022. This order was filed by Councilor Laflamme. Is there anybody here for public input on this item? Anybody here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Can I have a motion to close public input, please?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second, close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Does DPW or have any? And there are no comments from DPW on this item. Are there any questions from any of the committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? This is pretty self-explanatory. This is just updating the plan for the City Hall parking lot with some changes. So can I have a motion to approve, please?
Motion to approve item number 5.
Motion second to approve. Please call the roll for approval.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the full city council, tomorrow night. Okay, item number 6, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Bus stops, Charbonneau Terrace, move bus stop number 518 Charbonneau Terrace to 954 Chicopee Street. Bus stop number bus stop number 518. And this order was filed by, Councilor Corshane. Read the comments from, city engineer Doug Ellis. PVTA must be, contacted to move, the bus stop. This is pretty much the same as the item 15 that we took up at the beginning of the meeting. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Are there any questions from the, committee members? Any questions from the committee members on Zoom? Questions for the committee members on Zoom? Okay. Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve item number 6.
Motion to approve. Please call the roll for approval.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0 and will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 7, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Bus stops, Whitman Street, move bus stop back north 200 feet. Bus stop number 530. This order was filed by Councilor Corshane. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Well, I should read the comments first from the city engineer. Same as previous one, PVTA must be contacted to move a bus stop. Any additional comments from DPW? Okay, all right. Ready to do public input? No, okay. Anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from any of the committee members here? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Questions for the committee members on Zoom? And I have a motion, please.
Motion to approve item number 7.
Motion and seconded to approve item number 7. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0 and will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Alrighty, item number 8, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Isolated stop sign and signal lights as follows. Day Street at the intersection of Ingham Street, isolated stop sign, proposed by Councilor Corshane. Is there anyone for public input on this item? Anyone for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone for Zoom on public input on this item? Have a motion?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second, close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the comments from engineering were, proposed wording is acceptable. Any additional information from DPW? Okay, none. Any questions from any of the committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Any questions from the committee members on Zoom? And I have a motion, please.
Motion to approve item number 8.
Okay, motion second to approve item number 8. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, and this item was approved 4-0 and will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 9, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Bus stops, Blanche Street. Move bus stop number 524 Blanche Street to 841 Chicopee Street. Bus stop number 524, submitted by Councilor Corshane. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Well, actually, let me read the response from engineering on this before we go to that. PVTA must be contacted, to move the bus stop, same as the previous orders. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? I have a
Motion to close public input.
motion second, close public input. Please call the roll, close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Are there any additional comments from DPW? Are there any questions or comments from committee members? Any questions or comments from committee members on Zoom? Questions or comments from committee members on Zoom? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve item number 9.
Motion to approve item number 9. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 10, be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Stanford Street, even side, 25 feet from the intersection of Hamden Street, parking prohibited ear to corner. This was filed by councilors Laflamme and Brooks. Councilor Brooks, do you have any comments you want to make on this?
Just a safety issue. Line of sight.
Okay, all right, thank you. Engineering, they said the proposed wording is acceptable. Were there any additional comments from DPW? None. Okay, anybody here in the audience for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from any of the committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Seeing none, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve item number 10.
Motion to approve item number 10. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 11. Be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop sign and signal lights, Goyette Street, traveling west at the intersection of College Street, isolated stop sign, filed by Councilor Piniac Costello. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Else here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion, to second and close public input, please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. City engineer Doug Ellis said the proposed wording is acceptable. Any other comments from DPW? Seeing none, any, questions from any of the committee members here? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Any questions for the committee members on Zoom? Okay, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve item number 11.
Motion second to approve item number 11. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks. Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And Councilor Brooks, did you approve?
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, and the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the, with, Councilors, Brooks and Labrie voting in favor via Zoom. And this will go before the full city council, at, tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 12, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by be further amended by striking from the following in schedule. Parking regulations. Portolet Avenue, south even side from Chicopee Street to a point 100 feet westerly thereof, no parking, stopping, or standing. This was filed by Councilor Carshane, and this is also, we're striking this ordinance. And let's see, let me just read the comment from engineering. This existing ordinance would be replaced with the next item. So, any comments from engineering? I mean, from DPW? Okay. Anyone here for public input? Anyone in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Have a motion to close public input.
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll, close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from any of the committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? I have a motion.
Motion to approve item number 12.
Motion to approve item number 12. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the proposed ordinance, striking the proposed ordinance, or striking the ordinance, has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. And councilors Labrie and Brooks voted in favor via Zoom. Item number 13, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Portlet Avenue, south even side from Chicopee Street to a point 25 feet westerly thereof, parking prohibited here to corner. This was filed by Councilor Courchaine. Comments from engineering is the proposed wording is acceptable. Any questions from DPW? Comments from DPW? Seeing none. Is there anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone here in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close public input? Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga. Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from any committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? And can
Motion
I,
to approve item number 13.
motion second to approve item number 13. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga.
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and the ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. All right, item number 14, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Lucretia Avenue, odd side from Portlet Avenue to a point 25 feet, parking prohibited. This order was filed by Councilor Courchaine. I will read the comments from engineering on this. Wording is incomplete. Not exactly sure what is intended. I will open it up to any other comments from DPW. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. Gonna open it up to public input. If anyone is here for public input, please speak if you're here for public input. Anyone else in the audience for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga.
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. And are there any questions from the committee members? Are there any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? I guess maybe motion to postpone to the call of the chair until we get some clarification. All right. Can I have a motion to postpone to the call of the chair, please?
Motion to postpone to the call of chair, item number 14.
Motion seconded to postpone to the call of the chair. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, this has been approved 4-0, and we'll go before the, full city council, tomorrow night. And we already did item 15, so going to item 16. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Hamden Street, west even side from Sanford Street to a point 25 feet northerly thereof, parking prohibited here to corner, filed by Councilors Laflamme and Brooks. Councilor Brooks, did you have any comments you wanted to make on this first?
Just a safety issue, same thing, line of sight.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'll just read the, Doug Ellis's, comments. The proposed wording is acceptable. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yeah.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, any questions from the, committee members? Any questions from the committee members on Zoom? Can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve item number 16.
Motion second to approve item number 16. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and, the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0 with Councilors Brooks and Labrie, in favor, via Zoom. And this will go before the full city council, meeting tomorrow night. Item number 17. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Raymond Avenue, south side from 120 feet westerly of George Street to the end of the road, parking prohibited, filed by Councilor Goff. Anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this
Motion to
item?
close public input.
Motion is second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Engineering, the proposed ordinance was developed in conjunction with Councilor Goff. Are there any questions from any of the committee members here? Are there any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? Seeing none, can I have a motion, please?
Motion to approve item number 17.
Motion seconded to approve item number 17. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0 with Councilors Labrie and Brooks, voting in favor of via Zoom, and this will go before the full city council at, tomorrow night's meeting. On to item number 18. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows: that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule. Isolated stop signs and signal lights, Hampshire Street, traveling west, intersection of Cyric Street, isolated stop sign, filed by Councilor Piniac Costello. Anyone here? Well, let me read the engineering comment first. Item number 18, proposed wording is acceptable. Is there anyone here for public input on this item? Please state your name and address, please. Okay, thank you. Anyone else here for public input on this item? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close public input? Motion to close public input. Please call the roll and close public input.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any comments or questions from the committee? Any comments or questions from committee members on Zoom? Any comments from DPW? Okay.
Motion to approve item number 18.
Motion to approve item number 18. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, this ordinance has been approved 4 in favor, and will go before the full, with Councilors Labrie and Brooks voting in favor on Zoom, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 19, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows: that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Crescent Drive, north even side from 90 feet to 100 feet westerly of Eastern Drive, parking prohibited between signs. This was filed by Councilor Goff. And I will read the engineering comments. The proposed ordinance was developed in conjunction with Councilor Goff. And is there anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input?
Motion to close public input.
Motion seconded to close public input. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Comments or questions from committee members? Any comments or questions from committee members on Zoom?
Motion to approve item number 19.
Motion second to approve item number 19. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And this proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and will go before the full city council at their, tomorrow night's meeting. Item 20. Be it ordained by the city council of the city of Chicopee as follows, that chapter 260 as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by striking from the schedule parking regulations, Edmund Street, north 25 feet from St. James Avenue. Parking prohibited here to corner with arrows, filed by Councilor Crumpets. I had originally filed this order previously, last month, and there was a little bit of confusion with engineering, and before the sign got put up, it was get down the street. So before the sign was put up, but they did do the dig safe, so that actually alerted the neighbors. I went and talked to engineering, and they made the suggestion to strike this and then update the distance. So this is being struck and then replaced by the next ordinance. So is there anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Seeing none, can I have a motion? Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And public input is closed. Any questions from the committee members? Any questions from the on Zoom? Can I have a motion, please?
So we're making a motion to deny.
A motion to approve, which would strike existing ordinance.
Motion to approve item number 20.
Motion to approve item number 20. Please call the roll, seconded, and please call the roll.
Crumpets,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the motion for the proposed striking of the existing ordinance has been approved 4-0, with Councilors Brooks and Labrie voting in favor on Zoom. And this will go before the full city council for tomorrow night's meeting. Okay. Item number 21. Be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260, as amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: parking regulations, Edmund Street, north side 60 feet from St. James Avenue, parking prohibited here to corner with arrows. To our attorney, he had sent me some information on it, and do I need to do a separate motion to amend this from 60 feet to 55 feet? Or can I just change it to 55 feet? Okay, can I have a motion to amend it from 60 feet to 55 feet? What's that?
What do you need me to do?
A motion to amend, to allow me to amend the order from 60 feet to 55 feet.
Motion to amend 60 to
Motion
55.
second to amend. We need to do a roll call for this, right? Can I have a roll call for the amendment, please?
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks, Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and the amendment to 55 feet has been approved. Pretty much the comments should be the same. The proposed ordinance was developed in conjunction with Councilor Crampits. So that was, engineering's comments, and any comments from W? Is there anyone here for public input on this, item? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item? Anyone for Zoom on public input on this item?
Motion to close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
All right, any questions from the committee members? Any questions from any of the committee members on Zoom? I have a
Motion to approve item number 21.
motion seconded to approve item 21. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks.
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
All right. Agnes, Shane didn't respond, right?
No, he voted to approve that.
Oh, he did vote to
Yeah.
approve? Okay, all right. What I asked. Okay, proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, with Councilors Labrie and Brooks voting in favor of via Zoom. And this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. Item number 22. Item number 22, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Chicopee as follows, that Chapter 260 is amended on February 21st, 1995, be further amended by adding to the following in schedule: isolated stop signs and signal lights, Farmington Avenue, at the intersection of Sarek Street and Farmington traveling west. Isolated stop sign filed by Councilor Piniac Costello. I will just read engineering's comments on this. This was Item 22, proposed wording is acceptable from engineering. Any comments from DPW? Okay, anyone here for public input on this item? Anyone here for public input? Anyone on Zoom for public input on this item?
Close public input.
Motion second to close public input. Please call the roll to close public input.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Any questions from the committee members on this item? Any questions from the committee members on Zoom on this item?
Motion to approve item number 22.
Motion to approve item number 22. Please call the roll.
Krampus,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
Okay, and the proposed ordinance has been approved 4-0, and this will go before the full city council at tomorrow night's meeting. And we have minutes from July 25th, 2024. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Motion to approve minutes of July 25th, 2024.
Motion second to approve the meeting minutes from July 25th, 2024. Please call the roll.
Crumpet,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And the meeting minutes for July 25th, 2024 have been approved. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion second to adjourn. Please call the roll for adjournment.
Crumpet,
Yes.
Brooks,
Yes.
Ariaga,
Yes.
Labrie.
Yes.
And thank you, everyone, for your patience. And actually, we didn't do too bad. So thank you again for your patience, and have a good evening.